Hello student, this is Latif sir. How are you? After summer vacation, today your school reopened. I think all of you are well. And today I'm going to discuss about the class 7 chemistry, the chapter 3. Today I'll discuss about different types of separation techniques. So before start, I want to say something that why we will we will study about the separation techniques because there are some reasons, some importance of separation of components of a mixture. Okay, so let's start. We may need to separate the components of a mixture for a variety of reasons. First one, the reasons are to remove. First reason is to remove impurity that are harmful and undesirable. To remove impurities that are harmful and undesirable. For example, the water we get in nature contains varying amount of impurities. So this water is not fit for us. So we have to separate out from the impurities from water. Okay. Next point, to obtain a useful component from a mixture. To obtain a useful component from a mixture. For example, salt. Salt that we eat is available in seawater. So we need to separate salt from the seawater. Third reason is the third reason of separation is to obtain a pure sample of a substance. For example, gold. For example, pure gold needs to be separated out from a from an ornament which is made up of an alloy of gold and copper. Okay, so these are importance of separations. Now different methods are required to separate the components of different mixture. Hand picking and sieving are simple method of separation that we use in our everyday life. Other methods such as fractional distillation and chromatography are used in industry and in laboratories. So now first, separating solid mixture. How to separate the component of a solid mixture? The components of a solid mixture can be separated using methods such as hand picking, winnowing, sieving, dissolving, magnetic separation, and sublimation. So first method of separation of solid mixture is sublimation. What is sublimation? Certain solids are sublime. That is, they convert into vapor state on heating without forming the liquid state in between. Sublimation is the uh, process uh, in which a solid which form the gaseous state directly on heating without forming the liquid state. Sublimation method can be used when one solid component of a mixture is sublime and the others are not sublime. Okay. For example, a mixture of ammonium chloride and sand can be separated by sublimation because ammonium chloride sublime, but sand is not. So by the process of sublimation, you can separate out a mixture of ammonium chloride and sand on heating. Ammonium chloride will sublime on heating, leaving behind the sand. Huh. So on heating, ammonium chloride turns into vapor, leaving the sand behind. Next, dissolving. This method is used when one of the solid component of a mixture is soluble in a solvent and the others are insoluble in the same solvent. Dissolving is the in this method is used when one of the solid component of a mixture is soluble in a solvent, and the others are insoluble in that solvent. For example, to separate sand sand from salt, water is used as solvent, because salt will dissolve in water, but sand will not dissolve in water. So on dissolving mixture of salt and sand, you will able to separate the mixture of sand and salt by using the process of dissolving. Next, separation of solid liquid mixture. How to separate a mixture of solid and liquid? Components of a solid liquid mixture can be separated using methods such as filtration, sedimentation, decantation, evaporation, distillation, crystallization, and centrifugation. First, evaporation is the first method of separation solid liquid mixture. So, what is evaporation? The process of changing a substance from liquid state to gaseous state, from liquid state to its gaseous state at a temperature below its boiling point is called evaporation. The process of changing a substance from liquid state to its gaseous state at a temperature below its boiling point is called evaporation. And you have already studied that on heating, the rate of evaporation increases, and evaporation can be used to obtain the solid component from a homogeneous mixture or solution of solid and liquid. Huh. So by using the process of evaporation, you can separate out a solid solution from a solution of a solid and liquid. In this method, the liquid is evaporated completely to dryness, leaving behind the solid. For example, sugar can be separated from a sugar solution by complete evaporating the water in the solution. So you can separate out sugar from a sugar solution by evaporating the water, that is the solvent. Next, distillation. The method of separation of a liquid from a soluble component by first converting the liquid into its vapor and then condensing the vapor condensing the vapor back into liquid. This is called distillation. Like evaporation, distillation is in this method, liquid converted into gaseous state, and then the gaseous or liquid vapor condensed and become liquid again. And that is distillation is the method of separation of liquid from a soluble component by first converting the liquid into its vapor and then condensing the vapor back into liquid. In evaporation, the liquid component of a mixture turns into vapor and is lost to the atmosphere. But in evaporation, you have to collect the liquid component. Okay, and then after collecting the vapor form of the liquid present in the solution, you have to condense the vapor to get back the liquid. So in distillation is performed in a special round bottom flask, which is called distillation flask. You have to take the solution in distillation flask. This figure shows the distillation process of distillation. You have to take the solution of solid in liquid, in the round bottom flask or in the distillation flask. Then you have to heat the distillation flask, and the vapors are collecting in another. The vapors passing through a condenser When the vapor passing through the condenser, the vapor become liquid on condensation, and the liquid then collecting in the conical flux. Okay, this is the process of distillation. An example of distillation: the pure or distilled water. We can get the pure or distilled water by the process of distillation. Huh. Next, crystallization. So first you have to know what is a crystal. A crystal is a solid having a well defined geometrical structure of certain compounds. A crystal is a solid having a well defined geometrical structure of certain compounds. For example, NaCl, salt, is a crystal. Okay. And the process of getting crystal from a solution of that substance, from a saturated supersaturated solution of that substance, is known as crystallization. When a solution containing a soluble solute or solid is allowed to evaporate by slow heating, it becomes supersaturated. Then you have to cool the supersaturated solution, and after on cooling, the crystal of the solute start forming slowly in the solution. Gradually, these crystals grow in size and can be separated out from the remaining solution called liquor. This method of separation is used in obtaining pure sugar and salt crystal from their respective solution in water. Okay, thank you.